Elon Musk, I see somebody that early in his, like, he got done with college, and he said, I want to change the world. And I almost want to say somebody, maybe his parents, maybe a close friend, maybe, maybe a whole lot of somebody's said, you can't change the world. You just can't do it. It's impossible. And he said, all right, hold my beer. Deuces, bitches. And that's all he's tried to do. Like, he is literally, and in our lifetime, he has changed the world.
Well, with electric vehicles, making them commercially viable, you know.
making making them commercially viable, making them safe. He's now made space travel. He cut the cost of space travel. Getting people up into space, cut
Yeah,
it down like 90%.
yeah, because of
And
those
then he came out
reusable
with his own internet.
reusable rockets. Sometimes that's what bugs me a little. Because that's too much power for one man. You know what I'm saying?
And then somebody criticized him recently and said, if he really cared about the planet, he could take his $6 billion and end world hunger right now. And
Yeah, that was
he actually responded, and he said, if you can lay it out and show me how we can do it, I'll sell my stock in Tesla and do it.
yeah. He said he would donate. They were just I think they said if everybody would give like what, like 6% or whatever. It was somebody from the wow.
Was it like the World Health Organization,
No, 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 no. It
or
wasn't the
I
WHO.
don't know, one of those?
The United Nations, I believe. The
Is
UN.
that what it was? I knew it was one of those big groups.
I think it came from the UN, but the problem is that, yeah, once the money's let's say that you convince all these people, but once the money's in the pot, I mean, that's where the problem starts. I mean, hey,
Right.
I mean, we've worked in places where, I mean, the companies are not that big, but yet the amount of money that went in the pot was big enough to convince our fearless leaders to stick their hand in the cookie jar.
Yep.
And
Oh
some of us escorted our old bosses off the property
yeah. Mm.
for.
Mm-mm-mm.
Now, I'm just saying, I mean, it happened at one of the places I used to work or worked. Well, yeah, you could say used to work. It's not the same company.
Right.
So anyway,
Yeah.
like I said, power corrupts. I mean, and if it corrupts at such small scale, imagine if all these billionaires donated to this big mega fund that it's supposed to end world hunger, but then it's at the control of the people that have been controlling everything. As you know, I mean, because
Right. Right. It's very similar to uh,
hmm,
I don't know. I don't know if I really want to get touched on it, but there was something that happened within our government where they said it's going to change the way it happens, and the way everybody uses this, and then they put the very people that were controlling it and causing the problems in charge of it, and like, oh, really, really?
well, that's what I'm
But
saying. It's I mean, it is what it is. Well, all
yeah,
right. Let's keep strolling along as we take you into Cursory Overload's anniversary episode. I can't believe you motherfuckers and motherfuckerettes have been tagging along for 4 years, and we are very grateful for you guys. I
right.
mean, hey, but
One of the things that needs to be said when we're going down this bumpy road of memories. One of our most diehard and do or die riders that's been with us from the very beginning actually was able to graduate college,
yep,
and
that's right.
she went on and
Move,
is probably going to go off into the world and change it and make it a better place. But
yeah, I think she's doing that already. One
well, I
person,
know she's changed both of us for the better.
yeah, for the most
It
part, yeah,
made us better people because of just just the kind of person that she is.
that is true. I mean, and
Oh,
well, like I said, and that's pretty awesome, and we wish her the best and Merry Christmas. Uh, and hope, I don't know, I hope that new career, that new venture where you're at. I mean, you know, Hope you do. Well,
Right.
I know that she is making a difference. I mean, it's one of those things where you just know some people are. It's like it's in their stars to do something special.
Like just when you meet somebody like her, you just know like wow, she's gonna do great things. And you know, I'm glad I got to know her and got to say I can say that I knew her before she did all these great things. You know,
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's like that.
and
Then,
then throughout this journey, I ended up moving
yep,
across country.
yep, all the way to the East Coast. So,
Yep, all the way here to the land of tornadoes and hurricanes.
and toe suckers and whatever else Florida
Yep,
can come up with. Because
toe suckers and
one thing about
uh,
Florida, there's never a dull moment.
no, there's not. No, there's really not any dull moment. There really isn't.
Hmm.
Um, just when I think everything's starting to calm down around here, something else pops off, but it's not all negative. There are so many positives to living out here. It's unbelievable. It's there's always something to do. There's always somewhere to go. There's always, you
Or,
know,
or there's
and
always
not all of
somebody,
it is theme parks and restaurants. I mean, there's a lot of
and there's
a lot
always
of
somebody doing something that puts you guys on the news for the wrong reasons, and that's why we love it because it gives us shit to talk about.
that's right. Yeah, Florida's like the trailer park of the U.S. You know, like you don't shouldn't go there, but you're going to go there anyway, and you know you're going to have fun.
Yeah, kind of like that, but not really.
You know, when I moved down here, I never in a million years realized how many mobile homes that there are in Florida.
Oh, when I was driving for Swift back in the day, I got to see it.
I never in my million. I'm like, this is where all the major hurricanes hit, and everybody has a mobile home. It feels like.
Well, what's the point of
I never
building?
understood it.
What's the point of building something that a hurricane's gonna come back and just tear it up? I guess a mobile home is probably easier to rebuild or replace.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's one theory.
I guess. I mean,
That's one theory. I don't know if it's an accurate theory or whatever, but yeah. Besides, we wouldn't have
I didn't.
that saying that says I'm as happy as a tornado in a trailer park. If it wasn't for places like that.
That's true. And then recently we went to Alligator Park,
Oh shit.
and yeah, that's pretty much what I felt like doing. Because I don't like lizards at all. That's one of my bugaboos.
Uh,
Um,
come,
everybody has their bugaboos. Don't judge me on mine.
oh come on, but
But anyway,
they're descendants or they're actually the pets of the people that actually controlled. The bird. They're lizard people. Come on,
maybe,
you can't go
but
on.
I know this dude brought us into a room and said, "I'm gonna bring out some animals for y'all to hold and take pictures and whatnot." And the first thing he pulls out was this fucking alligator, and he walked it around and offered and put it in the hands of everybody. Everybody smiling and laughing and taking pictures with it, and then he got to me,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Okay.
he says, This is Steve. You want to hold Steve?" I was like, "You and Steve can leave."
Sorry, I know,
And
Steve. This is not
it's
Steve.
funny. It's funny that he named this alligator Steve because I had a former supervisor but more importantly, one of my dearest friends in the entire world ever
Hey, I
was
know.
named Steve.
Hell yeah, a dear friend, a father figure for me. Yep, definitely. I know who you're talking about.
And
Steve.
he said, you want to hold Steve? I said, no, I'm good. He said, you're gonna hurt Steve's feelings, and I said, well, that's not the first time I've hurt Steve's feelings. And he was like, me and Steve, we're gonna get really sad. And I was like, listen, you take another step, and we're gonna have an issue. And he steps closer, and I said, listen, I done said it before, and I'm going to say it out loud now. You and Steve, y'all can go fuck yourself.
My friend Kenner says you can go fuck yourself. Coined by Steve back in the day. Now, did the alligator give you that look too? Like, hey, if you don't hold me, you know what my friend K Dog says. Like,
He's just sitting there, like, and then finally the guy was like, oh, "Okay, and we're moving." I'm like, "Yep, that's good because
moving on.
there ain't enough bad people in this place to get me to hold that thing."
Yeah, it's
But
funny. Yeah.
I don't know. It was cool. It was cool to see. The guy got all up into the water with the alligators, and I was actually kind of waiting for the alligators to start chomping on his ass, but I don't know. They didn't. They listened to him. He told them to lay down, and they laid down.
Kind of like that Eddie Murphy movie, what was it, Dr. Dolittle, where the crocodile hunter makes an appearance there, a cameo. And
Right.
he's like, which his name was Steve also, funny enough. While Steve's not watching, I'm going to turn around and bite his arm off. And like, and you just hear, it cut, I guess it cuts to a different scene. You just hear the crocodile hunter go, "Crikey, me arm." Like,
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. This guy was all up in the water, and nope, 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 nope.
and you thought your
then
job was tough.
one of the ladies that was there in the audience, she says, "Is it true that their tails are more dangerous than their mouths, and because it's so powerful?" He was like, "Well, ma'am, let me go ahead and ask you this: which side am I worried about right now? If they're swimming towards me, is it their tail I'm worried about, or the thing that has 1,000 teeth?"
Yeah, pretty much. And they grow back, don't they?
Yep. Oh, and side note, if I can be so bold, one of the people in the audience just happened to have been a YouTuber that I watch on the YouTubes.
Okay.
And recently, well, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I went to Gatlinburg, maybe 2 years ago. Anyways, my family and I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we were watching a bunch of these YouTube videos, trying to learn.
Okay.
You're listening to Cursory Overload.
Did I lose you? Oh gosh. Hold on. We're gonna get him back. It looks like we entered into the Chuck Norris song.
Motherfuckers and motherfuckerettes. Welcome to Cursory Overload.
Alright, so before we got disconnected, you were talking about going to Tennessee and all that shit.
Yeah, so we went to Tennessee, but beforehand we had watched a bunch of videos on different things that are offered there. You know, things to do, things not to do, and it was all by a bunch of YouTube videos. And so when we were down here in Florida, we at this gator park, and I ended up running into one of the YouTubers that we had been watching, and he was gracious enough to stop what he was doing and take a few moments, and I know he's busy, to talk to me, and and talk about different various things. And I try to keep it short so he can get back to work. But so a big shout out, if you don't mind, a big shout out to Carpetbagger for being so nice and taking some time to talk with a fan of his, and I wish him continued success in his YouTube adventures.
Hey,
so
well, speaking of which, by the way,
that was really neat.
Hey, not bad. Actually, you can listen to us on YouTube as well too. Well, just saying, we're all over the fucking place. In this 4 years of podcasting journey, I mean, it's incredible the idea that motherfuckers can listen to us in Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker. Obviously, Spreaker's our like home base, which is part of iHeartRadio now. I don't know if you know that.
Really?
Really.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and also, wow, just about anywhere. Podchaser, fuck, there's so many where you can get your cursory overload fix. I mean,
yeah, it's really wild when you type in our show name onto Google. It fills up almost it fills up the entire page.
It is crazy that 4 years ago, I mean, could you imagine if anybody, and we still haven't even scratched the surface because a lot of people still don't know who the fuck we are. I mean, we're still who the fuck is you, when it comes to anybody in podcast.